What's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jax. It's been about a month, 4 weeks since I last made a video. I apologize about that, but here we are, we're back, and I want to talk about the Black Ops 7 beta. Early access for the beta started last Thursday, and it seems like we've been playing this whole beta like for a week, and we practically have. If you had early access either by pre-ordering the game, which I don't know why you would have done that, maybe you really like Call of Duty, all respect to you, or maybe on the off chance you have Game Pass and you were just able to download it for free. That's what I did. You were able to enter the early access portion of the beta. Either way, we've been playing it for about a week practically. You know, I'm uploading this on Wednesday, October 8th. Luckily 2 days away from Battlefield 6, so our suffering will not be further implemented by this game or acted on by this game. I don't know, I was trying to sound fancy there, but I fucked up. We won't have to suffer anymore. We'll be able to play a game that actually respects its fans and listens to the fans and doesn't bullshit the fans and actually innovates. And anyway, you guys probably can guess my stance on the Black Ops 7 beta just based off of that, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk about multiplayer side of things and the zombies, because for the first time in a multiplayer beta for Call of Duty, we were able to have zombies alongside the multiplayer beta. So they added zombies into the beta, which I thought was a very interesting move. You know, there's one side of me that thinks they did this genuinely because they wanted to add zombies into the beta, you know, like to get the fans, let the fans have a taste of it. Another part of me thinks that they only added zombies because they knew for a fact that most people probably wouldn't even bother playing the Black Ops 7 beta for the multiplayer alone, you know. So to counteract the loss of fans and the lack of people playing the beta, they're like, let's add zombies to boost those numbers up, because they know for a fact that a lot of people, if they see zombies, they're going to be playing it regardless, you know. And that's kind of like my thing. I played the Black Ops 7 beta. When I jumped on for the first day, I thought I was going to be playing zombies. That's what I was excited for. I wasn't excited or interested in the multiplayer at all. I was curious, of course, to see if they were going to change, add things, innovate, if it was going to feel any different from Black Ops 6. But my actual excitement and joy and the dopamine I got from thinking about Black Ops 7 came from the zombies portion, which was short-lived because October 2nd, when the early access began, we had to wait a whole day, October 3rd, to play zombies in the beta. Like, they kind of scammed us. They were like, oh, actually, we're releasing zombies tomorrow. It's not going to be here the first day of the beta. We're going to make you all play multiplayer and then you guys can play zombies. So whatever. Anyway, let's talk about it. And you know, you guys should know my style of video by now. I don't really have a script. I don't really have like bullet points that I want to, you know, we're going to talk about this and then talk about this. This is not going to be an exclusive Ace style video. All respect to him. I love him. He's a great content creator, great YouTuber, gives us valuable information, but he is very polished in his videos, you know, and he's very he's very well groomed. You know, I'm more of like a Blame Truth or a Neural Cinema. You know, Blame Truth, he just tells it how it is. He doesn't give a fuck what you think. He doesn't give a fuck what people around him think. He doesn't care. He's gonna speak what's on his mind regardless. He's gonna curse. He doesn't have bullet points. He doesn't have a script. He doesn't have any of that. He's just gonna sit there and talk to you like a friend talking to you about the game. And then of course Neural Cinema, he's kind of like in the middle. He's like both of them, to be honest. But anyway, let's jump into it. Let's talk about the multiplayer side of things first, because that's really where a lot of my not hatred, I guess. I don't hate the franchise, but that's where a lot of my anger stems from with this beta. So first off, they added a no skill-based matchmaking playlist, and this was a few days into the beta. This wasn't like initially right off bat. I think it would have been smarter for them to have no skill-based matchmaking if they had this already planned or in the works, which it seems like they did because they just updated it and it was already in the game. It wasn't like a thing that they had to shut the whole game down and shut the servers down for a second to add in. So it must already been in the game. Maybe like a safe like a backup plan just in case the beta went to shit, which it did, and that's why they added it. But it wasn't there the first day of the beta, and I want to make that clear because a lot of people might think that my opinions come from the entire beta. Like, the beta has already changed a whole bunch throughout its 5 days being out. Anyway though, they added a no skill-based matchmaking playlist. It's called the Open Mosh Pit. So Open Mosh Pit has no, or it says in the actual description, it says minimal skill consideration when it comes to matchmaking. Matchmaking is primarily focused on ping and connection and you know, this excited me a lot when I first saw this, because I wasn't having the best time on the beta. To be fair, I wasn't enjoying myself, but I wasn't not enjoying myself. It was more like just a bleh experience, you know. I wasn't like getting shit on and getting absolutely destroyed by skill-based matchmaking, but I definitely noticed it. So when they added the no skill-based matchmaking, I was super excited, super shocked. First off, shock was my first reaction. I was like, what the fuck? I would have never thought in a million years that they would get rid of skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty until their game desperately needed it. And even then, it seems like a far stretch for them to make that jump and actually put in a no skill-based matchmaking mode even. But yeah, so that's my thing. You know, and I was super excited. But the thing about this, and I think Neo Cinema and Blame Truth both touched on this pretty and they made good points about it. Pretty much, they said that since it is only a playlist, it's not how the entire game is. You could still play normal mosh pit with skill-based matchmaking in the game. Because it is a playlist, all the people that are super good at the game but don't want skill-based matchmaking, they're gonna flood this playlist, and it's basically gonna feel just like skill-based matchmaking, because all the above average and higher players are gonna jump into this no skill-based matchmaking playlist. And I'm like, that's exactly my main thing. At first I was excited, but then I thought about that and I was like, that makes complete sense. Like, this is stupid. Why don't they just make this the entire game? Remove skill-based matchmaking from the game entirely, make it so there isn't even an option to have a normal mosh pit, and just leave it as it is in the open mosh pit. And that way, everyone that does play the game, regardless of if they're good or bad or whatever, they're going to be forced to play this no skill-based matchmaking playlist or whatever, and it's going to make the lobbies and stuff even more natural, even more varied, even more classic, if you want to say that. By having a certain playlist for it, even if it is the top option, once you click play on multiplayer, or once you hit click match, it shows open mosh pits. So if you're not paying attention, most people are gonna click that regardless, you know. But even still, you have options. So if you pay attention and read, you might be like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. Like, maybe you're a very terrible skilled player and you think that skill-based matchmaking is actually not a bad thing and it helps you. There's people out there that believe that. I'm sure of it. They're not going to play the open mosh pit, you know, so it's not going to force them into these matches. So yeah, that's very disappointing. Although it's a great thing that they added. It's a very big step, but just not executed on properly, I feel like. It's a great thing that they are finally realizing that this game is dying because of the skill-based matchmaking, among other things that we're going to touch on briefly in the video. But the main problem, the main thing that people have issue with in the Call of Duty series these past 6 years has been the new matchmaking system, EOMM, engagement optimized matchmaking, or SBMM, skill-based matchmaking, whatever it's called. You know, scam-based matchmaking is what I like to call it personally. So yeah, that's my first thing. It's like it's kind of like a cheap ploy to get people to play the game, and then even still, it doesn't make the experience better. It didn't make it better for me. I've been getting shit on terribly in the no skill-based matchmaking lobbies and playlists, almost more so than I was in the normal skill-based matchmaking playlists, or the normal the normal skill-based matchmaking playlist. So I'm thinking, what the hell, have I just become terrible at the game? Because there was a time in my life that I was great. The kids say goated, right? I was cracked, whatever the fucking word you want to use. I was really good at the game, to the point where I could get on and feel comfortable going around a corner without, you know. So that's one issue though, is the fact that the skill level in this game has risen so much that a no skill-based matchmaking mode isn't gonna feel like no skill-based matchmaking, because every great player is gonna join that instead of playing normal mosh pit, you know. All right, so that's that. Anyway, let's talk about the fundamentals of the game. You know, the gunplay, the maps, the sound design, stuff like that, the UI, stuff like that, that doesn't have, I mean, it has a big impact on the game, but it doesn't make or break the game necessarily as much as, or it can make or break the game just as much as this skill-based matchmaking or whatever. All right, first off, the maps. At first, we only had 3 maps. We had Cortex and 2 other ones. I forget what they're called. And they're all pretty, like, terrible. They're not the worst maps. They're much better than they were in Black Ops 6 because of the size. They're more of a medium size, I guess. They're still pretty small, in my opinion, but they're not super small and dense and compacted as they were in Black Ops 6. So that's one great thing about these maps. They're 3-lane, quote unquote, but they're not really 3-lane because there's like 10 different angles from every position in which you can get shot. For example, all the lanes can have these fucking sliding doors that connect to each other that open up a pathway to the next lane of the map, you know? And that doesn't really feel like classic 3-lane to me because people, and then also there's this new jumping mechanic, like wall running type of jumping thing, so people could just jump and jump on a wall and jump over a barrier and then get to the next section. So I'm like, this doesn't even feel like classic 3-lane. I haven't felt a classic 3-lane map in very long. I almost forgot what it feels like, to be honest. And this game doesn't have it either. Like these maps, these first 3 that I'm talking about, they were pretty bad. They weren't that fun to me. They're better in the sense, like I said, they're bigger than the maps in Black Ops 6, but they're not that different in terms of the how people play. Like there's way too many angles from which you can get shot. I think they're way too vertically, what is the word I'm trying to use? I don't know. There's too much verticality going on in these maps, you know? And then people in this game like to hold head glitches and stuff like that. So it's not, it doesn't flow the same like classic 3-lane maps. So that's one thing I really don't like about the maps. Now, of course, the beta's been out for a few days now, so they added a few more maps throughout the life cycle of the beta. There's one map that I actually think is really good. It's probably the biggest map that we've received so far in the beta. I forget what it's called because these maps are not, I'm not paying attention to the name at all. I don't even want to remember these maps. They're giving me fucking PTSD. I'm trying to forget them. Regardless though, it's like this super neon map. I think it's raining kind of in certain areas of the map. If you guys know what I'm talking about, but they just added it. It was the last map that they added. Most recently added map, and that map is actually pretty good. I think the flow is much better because of the fact that it is so much larger than the other maps in the beta. It does give me a classic Call of Duty feeling, and I actually feel like I could run for more than 5 seconds without dying from 10 different fucking angles in this map. Although it's still, you know, people are learning it more and more, so it's getting sweatier now. But when I first played it, I was like, whoa, this is, if we get more of these style maps, I could see myself actually playing the game and enjoying it more often than I would with the other maps that we've received so far. Alright, the gunplay. The gunplay suffers from the connection very badly. I think the guns themselves are really cool. Like, they're not unique. There's nothing unique at all about these weapons. I think the most unique weapon in the beta is that shotgun that charges up, which is just ridiculous first off, because some people don't have trigger stops, so they're going to be, once they hold down that RT button, they're going to have to charge the shotgun regardless. I'm not the best at explaining things, but you guys know what I mean. That the shotgun, the Remington, the classic that we've had in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, it's returning in Black Ops 7, but this time it has like a charge mechanic. If you hold down RT, if you don't have trigger stops, of course, if you hold down RT, or I guess even if you do have trigger stops, but regardless, if you hold down RT and don't just slightly click it, you will hold, like, you will charge up your shotgun and it will tighten your bullet spread to make it more of like a slug round rather than a shotgun buckshot round, you know? And that's like the most innovative thing about these guns. The other guns, all either we've seen them before or they're just copy and pasted from previous games, you know what I mean? We have the Rampart 17 returning from Black Ops 4. One of my favorite weapons in Black Ops 4, it was the Scar type of weapon in Black Ops 4, and that returns in this game. But like I said, not unique. It's a good gun and I like it. I like the way it feels, I like the way it plays, I like the way it looks, but it's not unique. And that's my main grievance with this, is the fact that we're not seeing anything new and innovative. I want to distinguish this game from previous games, especially Black Ops 6, but I want to just have it be distinguished and different from the other Black Ops' games. You know what I mean? I don't want it to feel like a mashup of Black Ops' best hits, and that's kind of what it feels like. So yeah, we have the Rampart 17. I think it's called the MXR 17 or something like that. We have the M5 something, which is an M4 style weapon. We have, like I said, the charging shotgun, which is the Remington. We have a DSR type of weapon. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the VSR or the VS, whatever it's called in this game, VS Recon, is a DSR type of gun. And like I said, not unique. So yeah, just a whole bunch of weapons from previous games, or not unique, you know. And I just like that heavily. The actual gunplay itself, when the connection is good, when there isn't any packet bursts, when there isn't any bullshit, like when my aim assist doesn't automatically disappear in the middle of a gunfight. The gunplay feels so satisfying and actually amazing, but you know how rare that is to join a match and the entire match you feel like the hit detection is spot on the entire time and the connection isn't fucking you over. You know, it might say that I'm on a 13 millisecond connection, but it actually feels more like 30 to 50. And honestly, they just need to fix their netcode, because that's fucking up my experience more than probably anything in the game. I think even with skill-based matchmaking, to be fair with you, I would be able to enjoy this game if the connection was a lot better. It just feels off. Am I the only one that feels like that? It feels like the connection is off. It feels like I lose my aim assist in the middle of a gunfight and all of a sudden my aim is going everywhere. It feels like the people have more reaction time than me. It feels like they see me like 5 seconds before I see them, although we showed up on each other's screens at the same time and somehow they're already killed me by the time I see them. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? The connection is fucked up in this game beyond belief because they're running on like a 20-year-old netcode at this point almost. So the gunplay, when it's on, when the connection is good, base level and by itself, it feels great. But with the game it's in, it feels bad, if that makes any sense. These score streaks are pretty cool. They're not nothing super unique. We have the dog. I think it's a returning streak from Black Ops 2. If not, it was part of the campaign in Black Ops 2. I know that for sure. But it's a like robotic type of dog, kind of sentry gun type of gun, and it runs around. You're able to spawn it in to the map. There's a super annoying kill streak, which kind of acts like the wraps from Black Ops 3, but they're like RCXDs, and those are the most annoying. Once someone gets those in the game, it's over for you. Those are super overpowered. They need to nerf them, but they're fun though. And then of course they got all the classics. They have Scout Pulse and RCXD, a new RCXD, and you know, all the classic score streaks that we've had in previous Call of Duty games and Black Ops games. So nothing new there, nothing too exciting there. All right, now the UI and the HUD. You know, I actually like the theming of this entire game. I think it fits. It's very on brand with Black Ops 3, 4, and Black Ops 2. It has that futuristic feeling, and a lot of people are saying it feels just like Black Ops 6. In that way, it doesn't at all feel like Black Ops 6. Like, it doesn't feel to me at all like Black Ops 6, the way the announcers are and the way the kind of whole aesthetic of the game is. You know, the layout of everything is identical to Black Ops 6. That's for certain. Like, every single thing down to the loadout and how you choose game modes and how you choose your operators and the barracks and all that stuff in the menu is identical to Black Ops 6 in terms of layout. But once you actually get into a game and the UI, like the HUD of everything, is different enough for me to justify being like Black Ops 7 and not just Black Ops 6.5, if that makes sense. I know some people disagree with that heavily, but that's kind of how I feel. That's one credit I will give them, is that even though these games were developed side by side, it still feels like they had some differences between the UI. But yeah, overall the game is, I'm not picking it up. I'm not pre-ordering it. Actually, today I just pre-ordered Black Ops, or not back, excuse me, what a sin. I almost confused Battlefield 6 for Black Ops 7, but I actually pre-ordered Battlefield 6 on my Xbox, so I'm super excited to play that. Hopefully it drops midnight October 9th. I'll be playing it right then and there. I do not plan on picking this game up. I think, you know, of course, I'm gonna have Game Pass in November still, even though they increased their prices by $10. I'm still gonna have Game Pass, so I'm getting it for free pretty much, but I don't plan on putting any money into this game, even less than I did with Black Ops 6, and I barely put any money into Black Ops 6. I think one time I bought like $20 worth of COD points because I wanted this cool zombies skin, you know, but that's only because of zombies. If it wasn't for zombies, Black Ops 6 would have had none of my money, not a single fucking dime, you know what I mean? And even then, I still kind of regret it. I shouldn't have spent any money on it, but Black Ops 7 doesn't get my cosign on the multiplayer side of things. All right, now let's talk about zombies briefly. You know, I want to talk about zombies because I think it suffers even worse from being just like Black Ops 6 more than the multiplayer does. I think the multiplayer in Black Ops 7 feels more different to Black Ops 6 than zombies. Zombies feels like just identical to Black Ops 6. There's literally nothing different about it. We have a new perk called Wisp T, and that's like not the coolest thing ever. You know, I wish we had either a returning perk like Mule Kick or some shit like that, or a or a cool new perk. You know, Wisp Tea is not really what I expected. The map we got is Van Dorn Farm, a survival map, so it's kind of like a spiritual successor to Farm from BO2, and it has everything on the map though. It's not so bare bones as Farm was in Black Ops 2. It has Pack-a-Punch, it has the Wonder Fizz, it has a mystery box. There is a cool new feature I like in Zombies though. It's called Chompy. It's this trash can. If you melee it, you could put in weapons and lethals and it will back at you. It will spit at you like salvage in return for feeding the trash can your weapons and lethals. I think that's a pretty cool system, although I hope it's not in every single map, because it does kind of make it super easy, and it's like an exploit to get a free ray gun. If you put enough lethals and tacticals and weapons into the trash can, it will just spit out a ray gun to you, and you could kind of just hoard up a whole bunch of salvage in this way. It kind of replaces in a way the SAM trials. You know, in Black Ops 6 we had these SAM trials, and you could go up to the SAM machine and it would give you like a little challenge, and if you completed the challenge a certain way, if you completed it fully, it would give you like 600 salvage. It's kind of like that in a way. There's a trap on the map that I really like. People have been using it and spamming the shit out of it to get to round 50 to get this Dark Ops challenge done and to get a calling card, but there's a saw blade trap near the barn in Farm Survival, and it's 1,000 points, and it has like a baby doll with a speaker on top of it, and once you activate it, it's just like a spinning saw blade that spins around and attracts all the zombies with the baby doll that's making a whole bunch of noise, kind of like a monkey bomb and a trap mixed into one, and all the zombies will go towards it and just kill themselves in it. And it's a cool trap. I think that's probably one of my favorite new features in the map entirely. There's also a new boss zombie. We have this big ass bear which has like spores on it that you can hit, so kind of they act as critical points. Once you pop those critical points, it makes this bear much weaker, and then you could just kill it off. It's cool. It's kind of irritating. I think I like the fact that they're trying to be innovative and add something new. I don't think it necessarily fits the theme of Farm that much, but maybe I'm just stupid because I'm a city boy, so I don't know. Maybe there are bears on farms. I don't know how accurate that is though, but anyway, it doesn't feel like it fits the theme as much. It reminds me of like the spiders and in Black Ops 6. The spiders acted, they were super cool on Terminus. They made sense on Terminus, but then every other map that they were on just didn't really fit. You know, I think Liberty Falls and Terminus, the spiders fit, but the other maps, they didn't really fit too much for me personally. So that's why I'm glad that they eventually did change it. You know, they gave us like the exploding zombies in Shattered Veil. Then they gave us the flying Klaus robots in The Reckoning. But yeah, so that's another new feature. But other than that, it's pretty much identical to Black Ops 6 Zombies, and it doesn't really feel that unique or different. It's still fun to play because it's zombies. If you like Black Ops 6 Zombies, you're gonna love Black Ops 7 because, like I said, it's the same shit. But there's nothing there that's gonna really draw me in if I don't want to play it. You know what I mean? Like, the maps have to be super killer. They're gonna have to do so good on the fucking atmosphere and the story of this game to make it better than Black Ops 6, because if it doesn't hit those marks, no one's gonna play it. Like, why would I play Black Ops 7 Zombies when I already have like 6 maps on Black Ops 6 that are pretty high quality, I would say, and I'm still getting gobblegums. I have augments unlocked, all that stuff. Personally, what I think they should have did for the beta in Black Ops 7 to make zombies interesting, first off, this is what I would have did for the whole beta. I would have added the no SBMM right off the bat. I would have added zombies right off the bat, but I would have added the curse mode into zombies right off the bat. That way people get a taste of something new and different. Because right now, like I said, it doesn't feel any different to what we have in Black Ops 6. So to get people to actually play the game, and you know, if they really want people to check it out and see how it is, they should have added the curse mode. They should have added augments. You know, so that way we're able to experience the different aspects of this game. Right now, like, it's pretty much Black Ops 6 DLC. That's what it feels like to me. You know, they said they made changes to Omni movement. It doesn't really feel like much different to me. I don't know. I don't use Omni movement all that much. You know, I'm not spamming backwards jumps and shit, but it feels pretty much identical to me. It doesn't feel like they did much innovation in that department. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop because this video has gone on for way too long. Those are my general thoughts about the Black Ops 7 beta so far. It hasn't reeled me in. It hasn't satisfied me enough to the point where I'm like, yes, now I see myself buying this game or fucking spending money on it, or, you know, following it on social media and keeping up with it. I don't care for this game. I will definitely be playing Battlefield 6 once that comes out. It's low-key a terrible time for this beta, you know, because of the release of Battlefield 6. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the Black Ops 7 beta. Are you guys enjoying it right now? And do you guys agree with any of the points I made in the multiplayer department or the zombies aspect of it? What do you guys think about it? Have you guys been playing more multiplayer or more zombies? You know, what do you guys think? I would love to know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.